Hello and welcome everybody to my Quinyon Mitchell prospect breakdown. Quinyon Mitchell, the 6', 195-pound cornerback from Toledo, was a late bloomer within the draft community, but after the Senior Bowl and Combine, everybody started to enter the Quinyon Mitchell hype train, and that was for the better. But before I get into this video, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, follow my TikTok and my Twitter, and support my Patreon if you want access to my 2024 NFL draft board. But Quinyon Mitchell was a 3-star cornerback that signed to Toledo in 2020. In 2022, Quinyon Mitchell was PFF's highest graded cornerback, and their highest graded cornerback in coverage as well. Mitchell had 5 interceptions, but he only allowed 27 receptions and 270 yards on 70 targets and had an astounding 34.8 passer rating allowed, and in 2023 repeated as PFF's highest graded cornerback and had 1 interception, 14 pass breakups, and allowed a 51.1 passer rating allowed. He also only gave up 270 total yards on 62 targets and had a 43.5 completion percentage allowed. At his career at Toledo, he was a 2-time first-team All-MAC, and in 2023, he was voted a second-team All-American by the AP and The Athletic. But Quinyon Mitchell is a freak athlete on tape who was completely dominant at Toledo. He possesses elite speed and quickness, and he ran a 4.33 at the Combine, which was second for all cornerbacks, and his top speed at Toledo was 23 miles per hour. He also posted a 9.75 RAS score, which means that he is a 97th percentile athlete for all corners at the Combine. He also has a solid frame at 195 pounds and great physicality for a cornerback who is always on top of receivers, and his 20 reps on the bench at the Combine, which was first among corners, proved on his tape with his strength and hand fighting, as well as his physicality at the catch point. In coverage, he is a man coverage specialist. He only allowed 65 total yards in man coverage and a 39.6 passer rating allowed. He also has elite reaction time, anticipation, and recovery speed. The ball production was there as well from 2022 to 2023. He had 6 interceptions, 27 PBUs, and is great at forcing incompletions and batting down balls. He is a versatile skill set within zone and man coverage and has the potential as a press man corner with a physicality and man coverage ability. Though he was dominant at Toledo, his competition level was not very good. He only faced one Power 5 school in 2023 in Illinois, but his best receiver he faced was Marvin Harrison. He is also raw technically and relies a lot on his physical ability. He got away with this at Toledo because he was just much better than everybody, but at the NFL level, his technique will need to be coached up. His only physical weakness is his change of direction fluidity and his hip tightness. Sometimes his hips were a little too late to flip. He also has some footwork inconsistencies with tempo and chopping his feet too much. More playing experience will hopefully improve his route recognition because sometimes it felt like he was guessing on routes, which is not great. And he did improve his tackling against wide receivers in 2023, but his tackling ability against running backs and some of the angles he takes are inconsistent. But with all that being said, let's get into the film. Alright, so we are here on the Toledo versus Ohio State film. Essentially in this game, Ohio State scored a touchdown on every but like 1 or 2 drives, which is a little tough. However, on this play, this is obviously the Marvin Harrison Jr. touchdown on Quinyon Mitchell, who's over here. This is an in and then transitions into an out, kind of like a long stretching whip route. So, on this play, what I think Quinyon Mitchell does good on this play is, let me back it up a little bit. What I think Quinyon Mitchell does good is recognizing the first route. See, he's over here. But then, once Marvin Harrison flips his hips, Quinyon Mitchell is just too late, and it's a beautiful ball by CJ Stroud. Play ends up in a touchdown. Showing the other angle really just shows you how good the throw is. And boom. Quinyon Mitchell just has no chance to get it. But since Quinyon Mitchell is late on the second effort on the route, he allows the touchdown here. And here's another play where Quinyon Mitchell, I think this was a bit of a technical mishap here. So look at this here. So the wide receiver here, I can't see exactly who it is, but he's running an out route. Once he breaks now, Quinyon Mitchell, look at how open Quinyon Mitchell's hips are, leading him towards the outside. He opens his hips just too early and allows the receiver to get completely open. And CJ Stroud with the good throw on the sideline gets the toe tap, and Quinyon Mitchell allows a first down. All right, and so this is the last play versus the Ohio State game that I even want to show. This is going to be a cover 2 scheme, and I think this is arguably Mitchell's probably his worst rep here. So Quinyon Mitchell, you can see on the bottom of your screen here, going up against the receiver who's going to be running a fake fade and then late cut in. Quinyon Mitchell, let me back it up a little bit. If you can see here, touches and goes, trying to pass it off to this guy who is the quarter blue zone, passes him off. But more importantly, look at just the bad footwork. His head's moving all around the place, and then the receiver just gets a free lane in the middle of the field to go for a ton after the catch. All right, so now we're going to move on to the Eastern Michigan game, which was, in my opinion, Quinyon Mitchell's best game of the season. This was the only reception he allowed all game. This is just going to be a simple curl route, only 5 yards out. Quinyon Mitchell is just going to wrap up here, allow, I think he's only 1 yard on this reception. And then here is the Quinyon Mitchell interception on the first drive of the game. So this wide receiver here is going to be running a 10-yard curl. Pretty standard with Quinyon Mitchell. This is pretty much man coverage as well, but it's off man. He's 10 steps out. However, look at right here. Hits the curl. Quinyon Mitchell, already loaded up, sees the quarterback's eyes, and just instinctually, he even meets. Look at how, right here, Quinyon Mitchell beats the receiver to the ball. Great anticipation, and the play results in a big interception on the first drive of the game. Quickly taking a look at the other angle, we could just see, boom, right here, beats him to the ball, and the play ends in an interception. All right, so this is Quinyon Mitchell's play recognition at work. This looks like man coverage pretty much all the way. So, running the play, get rid of those drawings. We're going to see two things here. One, this receiver is breaking early on the route. Quarterback is already looking to throw, and this receiver is going to try to halt this guy. But this is man, so he essentially has to travel with this receiver. But let's look at this. Slowing it down here, Quinyon Mitchell flips his hips, immediately looks towards the receiver. First guy misses the tackle, but Quinyon Mitchell is there to recover and stops what could have been a big play. All right, so in this play, we can see Quinyon Mitchell's recovery ability going to work. So this outside receiver is going to be running an in route. Quinyon Mitchell is on one-on-one man coverage. So let's look at this. The one thing that I do see on film a bit is Quinyon Mitchell's footwork. It is a little bit wonky. Like, look at how on this play, he's just kind of sidestepping, and then when the route breaks, he's there. But look at this. This receiver goes back in, and then he's going to come back out. But Quinyon Mitchell, who recognizes it, is going to come back, and look at how quickly he gets back to the point. I know that the defender was hitting the quarterback, so the throw wouldn't have been made anyways, but that's some nice recovery ability where he was pretty much over here and then running the play. He's all the way back to where the receiver was, beating him to the sideline. And then this is the last play that I'm going to show for the Eastern Michigan game. This is just Quinyon Mitchell's pass deflection or PBU. Recognizes the route, comes back, gets his hands out, and then punches the ball out. You can see it over here. Nice play to stop the curl route. All right, now we're going to move on to the Miami of Ohio game. This is going to be the one that happened in week 8. This is the only reception he allowed in the game. Once again, it's just a simple curl route where the receiver is 5 yards out, and Quinyon Mitchell is just going to stop him there. That's the only reception he's going to allow all game. I see a lot of people really criticizing Quinyon Mitchell's tackling technique. Let's just look at this. The receiver tries to go to the outside, but Quinyon Mitchell, let's go to the wrap. I mean, even with the receiver lunging, we got Quinyon Mitchell get both legs and stays on top of him. That's solid tackling technique. All right, and so this is Quinyon Mitchell's first of 2 pass deflections in this game. Receiver's going to be running a slant route. All right, so this is Quinyon Mitchell's first out of 2 pass deflections in this game. The receiver is going to be running a slant with Quinyon Mitchell. He is on one-on-one man coverage, but this play just shows the recognition, the athleticism, a bunch of things in this play. The receiver breaks in the route. Quinyon Mitchell breaks, plays the hand at the ball. Let's go see the other angle. It's a little difficult on this angle to show what I really want to show, but look at how Quinyon Mitchell, right here, you can't see it because it's a blur, but essentially Quinyon Mitchell puts his hand to where the ball would be, so the receiver is cupping his hands basically to catch the ball. Where that ball would be in the catch radius is where Quinyon Mitchell is going to punch, and the ball ends up sailing out. And then for the last play of the breakdown, we've been seeing it the entire time. Quinyon Mitchell, one-on-one and man coverage on an island all the time. However, this receiver is going to be running a long dig route. Quinyon Mitchell's playing a little bit behind him. The quarterback gets ready to throw, but what's Quinyon Mitchell going to do? Get at where the ball is going to be and put his hands in there and just bat it out. Great pass deflection. Let's see the other angle. And when we move it on the other angle, you can see, look, he's lagging behind this dig route. But then at the catch point, Quinyon Mitchell gets his hand in there and just disrupts the pass. Great pass deflection by Quinyon Mitchell. My player comp for Quinyon Mitchell is going to be Darius Big Play Slay. If you look at both combine measurements, they're really, really similar. But like, I'm not joking. Look at how close these numbers are. Like, look at how close everything is. But both also have really similar skill sets. Both are great with anticipation and have similar ball skills in production. Both have similar weaknesses with change of direction and flipping their hips, with a bit raw footwork coming out of college. But I do think that Quinyon Mitchell is more raw technically, but more athletic. But Slay obviously has better hands. And I'm giving Quinyon Mitchell a 6.46 prospect grade, which is a late first round grade. He's 14th on my 2024 NFL draft big board, and I have him as the second best cornerback in this draft. At the NFL level, I think that Mitchell can be a productive cornerback and be a boundary cornerback 1 or 2. And I also think that Quinyon Mitchell will go top 20 in the draft. Quinyon is a bit of a raw prospect, but it's impossible to ignore his physical and athletic ability. He was so dominant at Toledo and was PFF's highest graded cornerback the last 2 years. I believe that Mitchell will thrive best in a man coverage scheme that blends his physical and athletic ability. Teams like the Steelers or Raiders would be excellent teams for his skill set, but the top 5 cornerbacks in this class, DeJean, Mitchell, Arnold, Wiggins, and McKinstry, are all really close to each other, but I do have Terron Arnold slightly better than Quinyon Mitchell, who is my 2, and then I have Cooper DeJean as my 3rd best cornerback. But Quinyon Mitchell checks a ton of boxes for me with great film, a great senior bowl and combine, and athletic traits. Mitchell also has a ton of potential, but will probably have an NFL learning curve, but if he works out, he could be a phenomenal cornerback. But that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, follow my TikTok and my Twitter, and support my Patreon if you want access to my 2024 NFL draft board, and read my full scouting report on Quinyon Mitchell in my Substack. Link is in the description. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.